Hey guys, Junlocks here, back with our blind playthrough of Corpse Party. I don't know why my shirts always look terrible, or at least the collars. I mean, sure, there's wrinkles on this one, but that's because, reasons. Alright, so, last time... Oh, Manny's kind of in the way. Manny's in my lap. Right, so last time we figured out this puzzle, which was search desk in music room, right side by the windows, second desk from the back. See, that's weird, because I thought I had searched every desk. Because I was like, the music room is the only place I haven't done something with, and it's... most stuff seems to be used. Like, it's not just... Every space has a purpose, it seems. Okay, so, right side... by the windows. Okay. Wait, hang on a second. Search desk in music room, right side by the windows, second desk from the back. This is not the right side, though. I mean, it is, but it's not the rightmost desk. I guess it doesn't have to be. There are a few sentences scribbled on the surface of the desk. Kaori, be very careful around the green skulls spattered all over the floor. They can kill you. I ran into a spiritualist here who left behind a pair of shoes blessed with holy water. If one person wears them and all in attendance join hands, then and only then is it safe to traverse the accursed green menace. Whenever I see the sorrowful bodies of those who died here, I feel as if I may go mad with worry. I beg of you, survive these ordeals. Live. A pair of shoes with a faint, nearly imperceptible bluish glow catches her eye from under the desk. Take them? Yes. Required blessed shoes. It makes more sense to do it that way, to have one pair of shoes than... Are you okay, Manny? Than one for each party member. Okay. You're so cute. I thought I searched the desk. Uh-oh. And my character flipped around as well. Do I go up there? Let's try it, I suppose. There's not a soul to be seen anywhere near the piano. I'm a little weirded out. But Manny's here, chewing his feet, so that's okay. And now I need to go up. I think it's on one of the other floors. I mean, well, yeah, presumably. So that's good. So apparently if I just clicked on it, I thought I had, but maybe not. Then I would have, then I wouldn't have needed to solve the puzzle. So that's fair. Blessed shoes, shoes blessed with holy water, grant protection to the wearer and all who take his or her hands. How big are they, though? You know what I mean? Like, what if they're the wrong size? The other thing is, why would there be in a cursed fake School. Why would this be here? You know, this doorway, like a sealed doorway. This place is cursed, right? It's created from the power of a cursed spirit. There we go. There's something sparkling on the ground. Pick it up. Yes. Acquired Crystal of Unsealing. What seems to be the problem, Yuka? I really have to go to the bathroom. Oh, don't tell me you've been holding it in all this time, have you? Yeah, He's blushing a little bit. My, well, we'd best find you a place to relieve yourself then, though I seem to recall our options being rather limited. Yep. Permanent records, the door is affixed to the wall like a decoration, it won't open. Alright. Crystal of Unsealing, a translucent crystal that shines with a mysterious light. Yeah, so we're gonna unseal this. This is a bad idea, but... Uh-oh. Oh. You just have to get close. Makes sense that you would put it beyond that green stuff. You wouldn't... Well, kind of. You wouldn't want normal people being able to get to it, presumably. Crystal of Unsealing shattered. Protective charms attached to the door have completely vanished. It's now opening with no difficulty whatsoever. Seems usable now. Will you be alright by yourself? What is with the guys? It's like, oh, we just opened this, there's this door that says do not enter, you know. It's like a big, horrible cage with like a lock and do not open all over it and whatever, you know, Velociraptor inside or whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna unlock it and you can go in there and go to the bathroom, right? I mean, there's no problem. It's like, no, check it out. Check it out first. Make sure it's safe. Or stay together. I mean, look, whatever. It's not. I've already made my little rant about it. Seems usable now. Will you be all right by yourself? I'll be okay. Get to it then. I'll be waiting right here for you. Thanks. Well, I guess I mean, I did predict that. Okay, this is probably, what's his face? Kizami, is it really you? Oh, I thought this was gonna be, what's, the brother. My assumption is that, the dude with a coat over his shoulder is probably going to sacrifice himself for Yuka. Like Naomi did in the original, but we'll see. We'll see. Why is there cat hair everywhere? I mean, okay, never mind. Obviously. Kurosaki, you're alive! You too, man, are you a sight for sore eyes? Finally, someone else who isn't dead. Godforsaken place that this is. I was at my wit's end just now. Let me tell you, outside of the school there's nothing but trees as far as the eye can see. I thought about braving the wilderness, but it seems like one of those forests of the lost you see in video games. Once you enter, you can never leave. Probably. And... for what it's worth, if you're in a forest and there's no landmarks, and you think you're heading in one direction, you will get turned around and like you just will. I've tried it before. There was a forest near where I grew up and used to play in it a lot. And I was trying to use like the sky and stuff and the moss on the trees to go a certain direction, because I'm like, oh, where I'm trying to go is on the other side. You could just go around, but I'm gonna try and cut through. And it's like, I didn't get lost, but I kept going in circles. I'm like, I've been here before. I hit this tree before, and you just keep, like, I turned to the left, I think, for whatever reason, because I was coming across places that I knew. But yeah, it's legit. So what the hell is this place anyway? Damn it all, there are actual honest-to-goodness ghosts in here, you know? I think we may be stuck here for good. There's no way out for any of us. Did you see Mitsuki in the next room? She's dead. Yeah, I saw. I just don't know how to handle this. I feel like there's a certain number of dead bodies a person's expected to see within his lifetime. I think for more normal people, that number is 0. Unless you're in the medical field, I suppose. And I swear in the last hour alone, I think I've far surpassed my quota. Just yesterday, Mitsuki dumped her boyfriend after finding out he was cheating on her with 3 other women. She's been really down about it all morning. So I sent her stupid text messages during class to cheer her up. She seemed mad about it during study hall. Then she sent me a thank you message the very next period. I think I was actually able to lift her spirits a little. Now, though, she's gone. Killed by actual spirits. I guess it was those children. Presumably, yeah, and presumably not the creepy dude. Whoa. What? Huh? Whoa. Kizami, what are you doing? Within these walls, it doesn't matter if you're killed by them or killed by me. Whoa. Okay, so... I don't remember if I said it, but when we met this guy, it's like... I mean, there's no way you can trust people that you don't know, but generally speaking, they're not killers, right? And the creepy guy that was like photographing the bodies and stuff, it's interesting. It's interesting, the setup right here, right? Because you run from the creepy dude who probably now is harmless. Although you don't know that. He might be a murderer or something too, right? And then you meet up with Kizami and you're like, oh good, I'm safe. And then it turns out Kizami's a killer. Wow. That was a really good setup. I appreciate that. But then why... I really do wonder if Kizami's like, oh, you know, my little sister's missing too. I wonder if that's fake. Right? Like, to get her to trust him. What's the deal? Why? But I did notice, like, so he stabbed him and then he looked at the door like, she's coming out soon, and he kicked him off the thing. It was probably the fall that killed him, not the stab wound, because the stab to the gut I mean, unless it hits your aorta or your heart or something, guts take a while. Because you bleed out. Or you get septic. Alright, so it doesn't matter if you're killed by them or by me. Either way, you're dead. Satoshi, oh, where am I? What happened? Where am I? Now the question is, so it's weird because there's other people in the school. Like, I don't like that. I feel like I don't mind that they're there, but with all the wandering around and stuff we're doing, we never met or heard or any of that. The closed spaces idea, the different spaces, makes more sense than all of a sudden, oh, there's another person in here. It's like, what? I've been wandering around this place for an hour. Where were you? You know what I mean? It's the... Anyway. I wonder if Satoshi was taken out by Kizami. I mean, maybe not, but who knows? Satoshi, what happened? Where am I? Well, there's another body. Was I knocked out?
Yuka, どこだ?
Yuka, are you there? Staff room. Alright, first things first. Remains of a female student are sprawled out on the ground. Here, her student ID name tag is still pinned to her breast pocket. Misato Municipal Brotherhood Senior High School, Class 2-4. Kane? Hagiwara. One more. Well, let's check. See, now that I know I can do this, because I clicked on it before, it's down. It's not clicking, which weird control options, but whatever. Achilles tendon severed with scissors, bled out. Oof. Oh, chapter 3. Oh, I get it. 40. Holy crap. Well. Oh. Look at next to us. Is that number 5? Student ID name tag is still pinned to her breast pocket. Alright, is there a save point in here first off? Well, let's check it. Oh, don't read it. Ooh, it almost got me. Or wait, was don't read it the first one normally? Let's not read it. Let's check the desks. Doesn't quite line up. Inventory of incoming students. Ojima Elementary, 21 boys. Hinomoto Elementary, 10 girls. Caring Village Montessori, 13 boys. West Elementary, 18. Amor Gardens Academy, 6 girls. What's the last? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's just doors completely fixed in place. It won't budge at all. Heavenly Host Elementary School closure date 11/18. Oh, I guess there was some other poster that was like 10/18. I guess it was a month before, saying that they would be closing. Photograph of Principal Takamine Yanagihori. Let's move a little closer, Manny. That way I don't have to stretch out my arms as much. There's a plaque inside the case commemorating the school's establishment. It's covered in bloody handprints as if someone were frantically caressing it. I need to read that again. Commemorating the school's establishment as if someone were caressing it. That's weird. It's haphazardly crammed to bursting with crumpled up documents, newspaper clippings, and scrap paper. School scandals continue. Principal questioned on liability. Curse school, many grisly happenings at Heavenly Host. So more than just the 4 bodies, I suppose. School nurse reported missing. Yep. So how did he get in here, then? I do like how the lightning illuminates everything. Illuminate? Deluminate. Is it deluminate? I don't remember. The whole Demolition Man thing. Okay. Click everything. Although I can't go to that other side. So let's see what the... Ooh, okay. I wonder what that's gonna be. Because there's only one door I can go to. We have, looks like a calculator. Heavenly Host Bulletin. An individual unaffiliated with the school broke into the building last night and killed himself. This is the third such incident. The deceased was a 72-year-old single male from a neighboring prefecture. Why is the curse drawing people in? Strange but true stories of the occult chasing down the hidden past of the cursed school building. It really exists by Ko Kibiki. Give it a look. Why? Will this change something? Like, I don't know. I know about the victim's memoirs, like, don't read that, but don't read it is... Let's see if we can save first. We'll come in here and read both these things. There's a bloodstained cassette on the floor. Seems to be from a digital video camera. Pick it up. Yes. We have no other options at this point. Acquired mini DV tape. Label reads Kibiki Research Data 1, 2005, 11, 19. So it's from, presumably, someone that got pulled in. Sensei, like teacher, Kibiki. They didn't actually say Kibiki, but label reads Research Data 1. We need to find a place to play this if we can. And I guess we'll try the door now. Door's completely fixed in place. It won't budge at all. Well, that being the case now, I guess we will read this other thing. But this was Kibiki, right? Yeah, by Ko Kibiki. Sure, we have no other options. Over the course of several days, a series of incidents occurred within this town in which young children disappeared one after another. I'm going to read it because I don't know if it's going to do that stupid crap where it just auto-forwards. Over the course of several... A series of incidents occurred within this town in which young children disappeared one after another. Is this in addition to the... Presumably this is after the Heavenly Host school was bulldozed. Right? They just said it was closed in 75, and they didn't say when. They didn't say when it was torn down or when the new one was built. Okay. Their whereabouts will ultimately discovered through a thorough police investigation, but said findings were very much a worst-case scenario. Okay, so he is talking about the original killings. 3 of the missing children were found dead in a concealed room beneath Heavenly Host Elementary, officially unused throughout the school's history. The 4th missing child was thankfully still alive, quaking in fear on the ground, presumably only moments away from demise when police arrived. But she died, right? So we saw girl in a red dress, girl missing head, boy, and the girl missing the eyeball, I think, right? And they said there was 4 victims, I thought. Maybe they'll tell us. They'll probably tell us. Capping off this nightmare scene was an adult male member of the school's teaching staff who seemed to be in a state of confusion. In his hands were a pair of bloodied scissors. 1973, 9/18. Oh, so it took like 2 years for the school to close after this. The surviving elementary school student, after psychological counseling, gave official testimony fingering the Scissor Man as abductor and murderer. The staff member in question was officially charged with multiple counts of abduction and murder of minors, as well as desecration of the dead. He was quickly taken to trial where an insanity plea spared him from prison or death, but resulted in his compulsory admittance to a mental hospital. Interestingly enough, from what I understand, the Japanese legal system is different than the American legal system. In the American legal system, theoretically, you're innocent until proven guilty. Doesn't always seem to be the case, especially with the whole cancel culture thing we have going on now, but apparently in Japan, it's more guilty until proven innocent. Like, you actually have to prove your innocence. At least this is what I understand from listening to American lawyers, like on YouTube. Apparently, Ace Attorney, despite all of its wackiness, is fairly accurate. They just go to trial. They don't worry about doing an investigation beforehand. And so that's why it seems so crazy, right? Because, like, I can't remember the dude's name, the Ace Attorney, right? Like, you're always investigating during the trial, and it seems like that's probably what actually happens. So it's very weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense in a society like Japan, where everything is very structured and ordered, and don't rock the boat, this and this and that. We just want to sweep something away, even if it's maybe not the save face and all that, even if it's not the correct result. So it might not actually be him. He might be possessed or something. That's entirely possible. I mean, I think the teacher probably did it, but the question is whether he was possessed or not. Manny, you're hairy. Okay. Interestingly, the perpetrator of these crimes was none other than the school principal's own son, who was widely renowned for his jovial personality. That explains why the principal was covering it up. However, due to a mental ailment of unknown origin, he'd begun losing his ability to speak little by little during his years teaching at Heavenly Host. Now, I wonder, because the original one, the original game, Sachiko was killed in the 20s. And actually, even with like the pixel graphics, the 8-bit stuff, it really looked like an old style school. It looked really good, actually. And so I wonder if that's what's gonna happen, right? Like, there was the original school, and this was kind of a continuation of that. That would actually be really neat, rather than just, we remade it so that it happened in the 70s instead of the 20s. I would actually really appreciate it if it happened, if it's been going on for like 100 years, Let's see, during his years teaching at Heavenly Host, once his speech was all but gone, he began searching for alternate places of employment, which occupied him for several months prior to the crime. The results of this endeavor were not favorable, however, and most of his days were spent staggering idly through the streets. Ooh. His reputation quickly degraded. Yeah, that's the other thing that I understand is it's hard once your career is kind of how you're identified. Your only worth as a person is what you do, which is kind of true for men in general, but more so in Japan, to the point where even if, like, sort of the company was your family in a weird way, so, like, even if you screwed up, they wouldn't fire you, they'd keep you, they'd just give you the window seat, as they called it, where they gave you, basically, you didn't do anything. They just gave you, like, meaningless tasks to do. It's actually what happened to the Gunpei Yokoi, right? The creator of Metroid. He did Metroid, he did all that stuff, and then he did the Virtual Boy. And as a result of the Virtual Boy, they're like, you're gonna be set over here and just kind of don't worry about doing anything of value from this point forward. But, you know, American corporate values kind of came in and took over. And so people started getting fired and having a harder time. Because, you can't really switch jobs. Because it's like, that's your career. Why are you switching a job? Do we want to hire you? You'd need to start at the bottom. It's like, if you're not good for them, what's wrong with you? You're not going to be good for us. So yeah, American corporate values kind of took over. People started getting fired. That's why one of the reasons the whole Suicide Forest thing became more pronounced. Like, because people were like, my life is over. I've been fired. I can't find another job. So they'd go hang themselves or jump off buildings or whatever. It was bad. It was bad. Of course, it was bad anyway because of the whole karoshi, death by overwork, that the salarymen, like, they just die from heart attacks and stuff from all the stress. Agretsuko is a really good anime to kind of understand how all that stuff works. His reputation quickly degraded. Several months after it admitted to the mental hospital, he managed to slip past the many nurses on duty and escape the premises. Immediately upon doing so, he made his way into the concealed basement room at Heavenly Host Elementary, where he took his own life by hanging. The 3 children he had killed were all Heavenly Host Elementary students. When did he kill them? This is weird. Oh. Okay, I'm misunderstanding, I guess. So right, they kind of jumped, right? So he wandered the streets and all that stuff while he was looking for the other job, and during that time is when he killed the students and hid them. Yes, I think I'm putting these pieces together. Found him, charged him, put him in the mental institution. He escaped, went back to the same room, killed himself. Okay, I think we're on point now. 3 children he killed were all Heavenly Host Elementary students. But the one girl who was rescued from the gaping maw of eternal slumber was not. No, they did talk about 4 children because there's a photograph with 4 children. Okay. Following her close call, she and her family moved to another prefecture far from the memories that no doubt would have otherwise haunted them forever. Sadly, this was only the beginning of the misfortune that would hereafter plague the school, which had already earned itself many an unsettling rumor. Over the next few years, Heavenly Host would become a stage for countless incidences of rape, molestation, and suicide. Yeah. With student registration and attendance dwindling at an alarming rate in response to these crimes, the school was eventually shut down about 2 years later. The 60-year-old principal at the time had become infamous as an eccentric who adorned his walls, doors, and furniture with incomprehensible scrawls. Like he started writing on the walls. Even later forensic analysis of the writings throughout his office could make little sense of his haphazardly scribbled enumerations. And the day after the school's closure date was finalized, this aged eccentric threw himself from its roof. He broke his neck on impact, dying instantly. That's fast, at least. As you can clearly discern, the sordid history of the school is indeed awful, but there may be more to it than merely a series of unfortunate incidents. A power greater than any of us can comprehend may be acting as a puppeteer from the shadows, maintaining an actual, tangible curse upon this property. And the key to it all lies with the sole survivor, the girl who bore witness to the brutal murders and mutilations of the 3 children no older than she. The girl in the red dress, the one who got away. My investigation into the supernatural side of this horrific massacre is only just beginning. Rest assured, I intend to make this a regular feature. I've begun gathering data for a follow-up report, so stay tuned. The next issue promises to uncover more details in this morbidly fascinating story.
この事件、一人の女の子が助かっていたのか。
According to this article, one girl survived the murders, but if this photograph is accurate, then it's that same girl in the red dress we saw earlier. Why would someone who wasn't killed here be haunting the school? Great question. Alright, now that we've read it... Now what, Manny? Has anything else changed? Yep. Well, maybe we look at the... Damn, looks like I'm locked in. Uh-oh! To worry so much for another's well-being that it torments you to the core. So we did have to read it. It's an exquisite stigmata that afflicts the living and the dead alike. And you are? Her eyes are so cloudy, she looks like a dead fish while she's dead. I'm the spirit of a girl who died here. Didn't we... No, it was Yoshiki that met her. I wonder if she's appeared in every chapter. I don't think so. I think it's only Yoshiki and, Ayame that met her. I'm the spirit of a girl who died here. Okay, I'm really not sure how to respond to that. Happiness and unhappiness are linked. Whenever one attempts to gain good fortune with little effort, there is always a risk. That's a great quote, actually. Whenever one attempts to gain good fortune with little effort, there's always a risk. What are you trying to say? You and your friends have become trapped in this school because you performed the Sachiko Ever After charm and messed it up. Really? Sachiko, you mean that paper doll thing we all did? How did we mess it up? One of you chanted the phrase too many times or too few. The number of participants determines the number of repetitions that must be spoken. And somebody goofed. Gasp. Okay, so was it actually a charm to keep everyone together? Right, so those that do it do stay friends forever, and if you screw it up, though, you get cursed. Gasp. You said it exactly 9 times, right? Oh, was it Satoshi? Sachiko, we beg of you 9 times. You have to say it 1 time for every person present. No more, no less, or the charm will fail. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I remember saying it 9 times, although... Does it matter? Does it matter who said it? Everyone's cursed. Unless the person that said it... You know... has to sacrifice themselves or something like that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I remember saying it 9 times. So did someone else mess up, and is that why? No. No, I'm not going to start placing blame. Yeah, everyone's trapped. This wasn't anyone's fault. It may have been on purpose. One of your friends probably thought the whole thing was silly and just didn't even bother to count. Or maybe a misguided member of your group didn't want the fun to end and knowingly flubbed the charm in a vain attempt at prompting a do-over. No. Even if it wasn't on purpose, some of your friends have a tendency not to take things very seriously, no? It's not inconceivable that they'd mess up. It's always possible that multiple people screwed up. And just say, oh, well, it's not like I'll ever be found out. without even realizing that their actions would ultimately damn you all. Hee. No one's owned up to it, right? Not a single one of your friends has said to you, I screwed up, I'm so very sorry. Well, I doubt anyone thought that it would lead to this. Shut the hell up already. Giggle. My apologies, I've proposed far too many likely scenarios, it seems. Perhaps it's the nature of my job. I've long since abandoned my writings, after all. You do still have your scrap of paper doll, no? Be sure you hang on to that and hang on tight. Treat it like a memento. A memento of those who are dear to you. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I seem to have gotten separated from my little sister, and there are still some other people I need to find too. Such concern for your friends, and all the impulses that go with it, spurring the heart into action. It's a truly noble sentiment. That's all charms really are, you know. They represent one's regards for other people. They're like microcosms of the soul. Whether it be love or hate, all you need is a truly strong emotion to set them off. The stronger it is, the more powerful the charm. Splend man's hook. I'm burning up. Wait, hold on, what are you? Frigid, sweet ball. Feels like my body's on fire. Stop this, please stop. Bald, sweet, frigid, hookman, splend. We will not allow anyone to stand in our way. Those who do will suffer without mercy. See, again, I didn't forward the text. Now go to the one who occupies your thoughts. What do you mean we will not allow anyone to stand in our way? Because he's trying to escape? So is she bad or is she good? Though you probably won't make it in time. Ahahahahaha. Continued in chapter 4. Wow. I have chills. Blood covered. Good music. I don't remember the exact music from the original, kind of like the ending music, but this kind of reminds me of it. Or it makes me think of that anyway. Right, me? I'm warm now, my little cat. So why the scrap of paper? Ayumi, not Ayame. Seiko Morishige. Spirit and grudge. I don't really understand the... It's like the grudge itself can take, like the thought itself. Extra Chapter 2, Meeting the Minds, is now available for play. Achievement unlocked, Brothers and Sisters. Oh. Extra Chapter 2. Weird. So Extra Chapter 1 was from Chapter 1. Extra Chapter 2 was from 3. So presumably 4 and 5 will unlock other extra chapters. Click. Now I do want to go and... right. We'll continue. We'll see what happens with that one. I want to... Where are we going? Right, we need the blessed shoes. We're going up to the bathroom, and then we're going to... The plan is to read the victim's memoirs. Yuya Kizami. I wonder if he was the one that killed her. Probably. Yep. Go here. Yes. Crystal one ceiling. Let's skip permanent records. The staff room was somewhere else. I don't quite remember, but... Yeah. Oh, what happened? She's not breathing. Oh! Why... We checked it before, though. We checked it before. Maybe I didn't check it enough times. That's weird. But we got all of them now, right? Back slashed open with edged weapon. So... Okay. Alright, go for it. Yeah. That's so messed up. Like, that's so brutal. Right, and that brings up the other question, which is how did he get here? Alright, let's read the victim's memoirs. Presumably this will give us another ending, another wrong end, and then we'll stop. Looks like I'll be dying soon, so I'm gonna try to keep my fingers steady just this one last time. The bleeding never stopped, and I'm getting colder and colder. I can barely see. In the end, we never did find one another here, and unless you magically pop out of the shadows real soon, you never will. Mitsuharu. I've always idolized you. You constantly surpassed me in every way, always one step ahead no matter what we were doing. I kept telling myself that at some point I'd turn a corner and you'd be there. But I knew better. My brain knew better. My brain rejected that notion from the beginning. If I should dream in death, though, then I know I'm going to see you when I turn this next corner like I've been praying for all this time. We can beat up on each other like we used to. And I'll never have to be alone again. Oh god, my head. Ah! A wave of nausea and unbearable despair suddenly washed over Satoshi's entire body. Next thing he knew, he was standing in the corner of an extremely narrow red room. His movements weren't his own. It was as if his mind were disconnected from his body with no perception of surface, or gravity, or motion. Right, like underneath the... I mentioned this before, but in the original, underneath this... It's kind of like... It's kind of like Silent Hill, how the other world has multiple layers. It has like the rusted metal, and then under that is like the even worse layer, I guess. That's how this is. There's like the ruined school. There's cat hair everywhere, and then under that is like kind of a school where the walls are made of flesh and blood and stuff. After a sudden dip jarred his senses, he realized he was moving purely on nerve impulses with no direction or control. Perhaps he'd been taken in by the curse, by the wave of negativity that permeated the space far beyond the spectrum of human understanding. His shell of a body might as well have been a twig skipping across the ground in a windstorm. Without warning, his very sense of self had been completely destroyed, leaving him in a virtually lobotomized state. It seems the remnants of a man's tormented soul are indeed a thing best left untouched. For this dying message and the curse it carried Certainly had no trouble at all dismantling the essence of what was once a boy named Satoshi. Okay, I mean, I guess that's alright. It just cursed him and drove him insane, I guess. Wrong end, Manny. 3 out of 4. You're my little cat. Even though you're bigger than your brother. There it is. Only missing 1 from this. That's good. Gentleman's Errand, Meeting of the Minds. I'll still wait. Because I don't know if it's an extra. It's not like a side story. So, victims. Let's check out the rest of these first. Oh, this is all. Ah, got it. Okay, well. Pushed downstairs, suffered compound fracture, bled out. Ouch. Struck with one weapon and stabbed with another. Jesus. Bled out. Sliced up with edge weapon, bled out. Sliced up with edge weapon, bled out. Willingly offered own flesh as food to sustain friend. That's friendship. Bled out from injuries. Ribcage smashed in with blunt instrument. Skull cracked open with blunt instrument. Skull cracked open with blunt instrument. Ribcage smashed in with blunt instrument. Trapped in classroom, starved to death. I think I'd rather... That's hard. How would you, starving to death probably I think is pretty rough. Caught in trap, bled out. Bleeding out is not good either. All acquisition rate 28 out of whatever. I mean, though, because you go, right? Like 6, 6, 16, so 28 plus another 56. I mean, you know how many there are. Anyway, that is... Next time is Chapter 4. We're getting there. Next time, Chapter 4. Alright guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. I really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. This game's a lot of fun, despite the dark, very dark subject matter. Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent. Let me hear them. I do respond and read all of them. And like I said before, if you like this video, if you made it all the way here, please give a like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you can. Anything to counteract the deranking based on whatever YouTube decides it wants to do. Yeah, so anyway, what is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, it's actually going to be that the puzzle, solving the puzzle. Now that I know what it means, it's not super hard, but figuring out, I was like, what are all these numbers? What does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm glad I didn't give up and I kind of figured it out. So, because especially if I do La Mulana, that's going to be rough. I saw a video that was, I think it was like 20 minutes, but it was like the dude, it was something like my experience beating La Mulana without a guide, and it took me 360 hours or something like that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna be how I'm gonna do it. Because, yeah, I mean, well, anyway, another time. I'm glad I beat the puzzle. That's my unique puzzle moment. Hopefully your guys is just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.